looking at public service delivery. And we have a special guest here. He is Dapo Adaramewa, a governance consultant. It's a pleasure once again to have you. You are part of the family now, part of High Impact Television, and it's good to have you here again.
We as Nigerians would like to talk about what our leaders are doing, but we don't evaluate what we must do, right? Now, you see, in Western democracies, they have come to a level where they can afford to not be involved. Do you understand? And that's because their forefathers fought to build a system and a democracy and a system of governance that benefits them. So, it's kind of like the child of a rich parent. Yeah, so they can afford to relax and just say, okay, leave it to the politicians, they will sort it out because the system works. We're in the middle of our own struggle, right? But unfortunately, we as citizens have abandoned our role in building a good governance structure.
What's that? What exactly?
Okay, firstly, you look at voter turnout in elections. Now, that has been on a steady decline since we went into democracy. We don't have the luxury of staying home during election day. Everybody is like, okay, well, my vote, I've asked people this, and a lot of people say my vote doesn't really matter. But you cannot afford to not vote. Do you understand? And so it's imperative on every one of us to engage in the political process, right? And after that, it doesn't just end there. Most people don't know who their local government chairman is. They don't know where his office is at. They don't engage in any kind of political party. I was in students' union politics, right? You only listen to the people who speak, and that's the truth. In my university at that time, there was a small demographic of people that really engaged. They came, they lobbied you as their leader. This is what we want. Those are the people you listen to. Outside of those people, you don't care. Those who don't vote, who don't show up, who don't complain, they are irrelevant to you. Because you must attend to the people who vote because they are the ones that give you the power that you want as a politician, right?
Absolutely.
And so we as Nigerians must engage with the process, right? I know a lot of people in the last election that felt a certain candidate should win but didn't engage. I know a lot of people that are unhappy with the way the situation is right now, but nobody is engaging on any level, right? So we don't have that luxury. And we must look, there's this concept, it's from this fixed politics, right? They talk about the office of the citizen, which I think is a beautiful idea. It's from the School of Politics and Governance by Dr. Obi.
Is it questioning?
Yes, exactly. So now there's the office of the citizen. It talks about how you as a citizen have an office and you have certain duties that you must fulfill. You have certain obligations that you must do. And I think we as Nigerians need to sit back and understand what are our obligations. We can't live in fear forever, right? There are risks to engaging in the political process, but the only guarantee is that if we continue like this, right? Same way each generation of Nigerians seems to be facing more challenges. The challenges our parents face are different from the ones we are facing, but it seems like our economy is declining, right? We can't afford that.
We can't. Now, you talked about institutions that work in other climes. In Nigeria, do you think one of the problems we face is that our leaders go up there without the mentality that they're public servants?
Most definitely. We have leadership without compassion. And part of it is also, again, I've been part of a campaign and I've seen the way people engage with politicians. It's combative. Let's put it that way.
Confrontational.
Confrontational. You come, you say, okay, this is what I want to do. Everybody's like, what do you have for us? Do you understand? So the people that are willing to drop for you are obviously not going to go there to serve you because they paid their way. They bought their way to that political power, right? And again, it comes down to this whole idea of engagement. There's a larger percentage of Nigerians that are educated enough to know that their vote is worth more than 5,000 naira.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a large population of Nigerians that know the difference between a person who has a plan and a person who's just making blank promises. But a large percentage of those Nigerians who know right from wrong feel like they have too much to lose, right? They feel like they have too much to lose. Oh, I don't want to go there. Let them not go and blow my face at the polling unit. Do you understand? We feel like we have too much to lose. And so we sit back and don't engage in the process, right? and then we pay the price. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to.
All right. Just before you came in, we were talking about transparency, which is something that it's almost far-fetched from some of this most, if not all, but maybe 60% of our politicians. Transparency. We hear so many amounts of money being borrowed, but we do not see even the recent cash transfer. I don't know whether you've received 50,000 naira.
No. My alert has not arrived.
It hasn't arrived.
It hasn't arrived.
Who are the people benefiting
Who are
from
receiving
this thing? That's transparency. How can the government be more transparent to the people?
Yes, this unconditional cash transfer is something that came from the last administration has rolled over into this, and billions are being pumped into it, and nobody knows. But me personally, I've never met anybody who received these monies. But it's a very interesting concept, and it seems like a last-ditch attempt of a failing government, that you just kind of hand out cash, right, rather than investing in things that we can see. And Nigerians are not invisible. We have BVN, we have NIN, we have all these, things, right? Okay, publish a list of all the NIN numbers that collected money. So at least we can go there, we can search for our own NIN, see if we are, we are due for collection. Something like that. There's a whole lot that can be done around transparency, around this, how this money is. But personally, I don't think that that's the way forward in terms of developing an economy, in terms of developing a nation. You can't just continuously hand out all this cash. Particularly, we're not we're a developing nation, let's put it that way. There's still so many deficiencies in terms of education, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of working hospitals that the people actually need for us to say we're handing out cash. I don't think we're at that stage yet. And then also in regards to transparency and the history that we have of corruption, I believe the last Minister of Poverty Alleviation, one of them has been arrested. The humanitarian affairs, right, even this government itself, somebody has been removed. So you look at the history of, these attempts to share money, and we see that it's failing.
As we wrap this up, right, the topic of discuss today is improving public service delivery through good governance. Incidentally, there's a protest in Nigeria right now, and it's called End Bad Governance. As we wrap this up now, as a Nigerian, what do you expect from government? What would translate into good governance for you?
I think good governance comes from first having a vision and trying to unify the people. If there's anything that's emerged from this protest, is the division, right? We can see the whole Igbos must go, all of these kind of division, that there doesn't seem to be a government that is committed to unifying the people, to standing up and saying, no, this is not allowed, right? So firstly, unify the people around a common vision. Let us see where we are going. Let us see the fruits of our labor, right? You are telling the Nigerian people to bear with us, right? But it doesn't seem like the political class is bearing with anybody. They are very comfortable, whereas the Nigerians are suffering. We've all been out there now. People are going through a whole lot, right? But our political class still collected their cars this year. Brand new. Yes, the new National Assembly, they collected car. Everybody's okay. The alleged 50% that they said that they are cutting. I know there was a news report where one of them came and showed their alerts that showed that he received full payment. So all of these things and for so long, you as the political class, you can be deluded into thinking the people are ignorant and blind. But they are seeing. Nigerians are not fools. We see what is going on. We see that you are telling us to bear. You're telling us to suffer. But at the same time, you yourself are taking care of yourself. You're still going on your foreign trips. You still have 100 SSAs. SSA will have SSA that is an SSA. For what? Do you understand?
Right, one more question. Now, let's put it to the people now. We want good governance. We want civil participation. How can we go about this? You mentioned also that there was voter apathy during the last election. Some people just believe that my vote doesn't count, which you rightly said. Some people live from hand to mouth. So whatever they see is what they take. So if they see 5,000, someone who has not eaten for days gets 5,000 to vote for party A, he will. So what do you think the people themselves can do now?
I think the people can wake up, because everybody that collected 5,000 then, please go and use it to buy something useful. Go to the market now. Do you understand? So we just need to wake up to the fact that you can't get there quickly. Do you understand? There's no short way. There's no there's no corners to be cut in development, right? There has to be a process, and we as a people have to pay the price that is required, right? We have to engage. We have to take the risks, because the only thing that is guaranteed without taking those risks is guaranteed failure, right? And let's not think Nigeria is too beautiful or that we pray too much for our nation to fail. No, it's not done. You look around Africa and you see that a lot of nations are failing, you know, while some nations are succeeding. So what are they doing?
Billion-dollar question.
Yeah.
But that's a safe place for us to learn. We probably might do a part 2 of this, but you've been awesome on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we have been speaking with the public affairs analyst, Dapo Adaramewa, and the topic of discuss today has been improving public service delivery through good governance.